Hi and welcome to Arsenal Action Podcast. Right, this is episode 1 of our all-new podcast for our new forum. And a few things we're going to get through today. We're going to be talking about the profit that we seem to be making at Arsenal and whether or not that profit's being used in the right places. We're going to be talking about certain players that are playing at the moment in the first team. And we're going to be talking about players and fans that seem to be criticising the club at the moment and whether or not that's justified or not. So, welcome to the Arsenal Action Podcast. My name's Gaffer and I'm going to be talking you through the next 10 minutes. Let me just turn this down so we can get talking. Hi everyone, this is Gaffer and this is the first edition of the podcast for the new forum, www.arsenalaction.com. We're a new forum and we're basically looking for members, so if you need a place to share your views, have an opinion, you're welcome to sign up to the forum and be a part of the new regime that's sort of happening at the moment. Okay, what we're going to talk about first today is the profit that we seem to be making every year, and I think it's a testament to the club and the board for announcing the pre-tax healthy profit of £24.5 million for the period of up to November 30th, 2008. It's a remarkable achievement with the credit crunch that seems to be affecting everyone. Arsenal just seems to be doing things the right way and making profit every year. Now, a lot of fans are saying, but they're not spending money. Well, this is the way Arsenal do business. They've got debts and they're running the club sensibly. They're making a profit. They're spending wisely. They're not going overboard. And, of course, they're being a bit cagey because they can see what happened to Leeds and they see what happens to other clubs going into administration. They don't want this happening to Arsenal. They've got a huge debt and they're being sensible. Whether or not, they've been over-protective, that's maybe how I feel and how a few of the fans feel. Rather than going out there and maybe investing to sort of make the team better and qualifying for the Champions League, they haven't done so. They've relied a lot on kids and on fringe players to get them through, and that clearly hasn't worked this season. Next season, in the summer, Wenger really does need to go out there and push the boat out on maybe 2 or 3 players, and we can't keep on saying to the board and things like, okay, you make your profit, you pay off your debts, and we'll get through on 4th or 5th place. No, we're Arsenal. We need to be competing, and I'm sure the players like Van Persie and Fabregas and Gallas, they've been very vocal, especially Van Persie. He's quite clearly made his opinions clear that he wants to be winning things, and fair play to the guy. He's at the prime of his career, and he hasn't hardly won anything at Arsenal for the last 5 years. He's won 1 FA Cup winners' medal. Same with Cesc Fabregas. He's a young lad. He wants to be winning things. So these players need to be competing at the top of the level. They need to be playing in the Champions League and need to be playing at the top of the league, competing, trying to win things. That's what makes you a better player when you've got something to aim for. So we need to keep these players happy at Arsenal. We need to show them that the players at the club's got ambition and not just to make a profit. So we spoke about that, but Wenger's been always an economist, and he's always balanced the books very well, and he's done that at every club he's ever gone to. So I give him credit for that, but sometimes he really does need to spend big, and he's done that with Andrei Arshavin. He's gone out and he's spent X amount of money. Reportedly it was 16.9 million. I don't know if that's correct or not. But if we have spent that, it shows that he is prepared to spend money if we need to. So we can't keep on knocking the manager and can't keep on knocking the board. They have gone out and spent. So let's just see if it pays off. But personally, I would like to have seen it done a lot earlier. It seems like the signing of Arshavin's more of possibly a panic buy because they see that we was 5th and they see we possibly weren't going to qualify for the Champions League. So I'm just a bit scared that the signing of Arshavin was probably just a panic buy to sort of help us get through to the Champions League. I would like to have seen that sort of the big signing happen at the start of the season, so it gives us a great chance to sort of fight in the top 3. But we'll see. Okay, next we're going to be talking about players at the club and some of the players are getting criticism. Is it justified or not? A lot of the players like Bentner's getting a lot of criticism. Song's getting a lot of criticism. Of course, Abui's going to get criticism. Even Adebayor's come under some criticism recently. You know, let's remember some of these players are still very young. And, you know, I remember looking at a couple of players a couple of years ago and thinking these players are never going to be making it at Arsenal. You know, a few people on the forum that I used to post on used to say to me, "Oh, Theo Walcott's shit. You know, he's a terrible player. He's a waste of money. Why did?" But now you see Theo Walcott this season, what a key player he's become for us. So you can't really judge young players in the first 1 or 2 years of their career at Arsenal. It takes time. So it's not to be too harsh on players like Song and Abui. Just remember, Abui is a right-back playing at right midfield. So, you know, I mean, as a right-back, I personally thought Manuel Abui was a great attacking right-back, and he delivered some fantastic crosses for us, and we scored some very important goals from Abui's service. So he's a right-back. He's not the best right-back, right midfield player, but he's doing a job for us there, and we've really got no one else to play there at the moment. So there's not to be too harsh. Nicholas Bendtner, I rate Nicholas Bendtner a lot. I think his work rate's there. You know, he's good in the air. He's a powerful target man. He can score goals. I think his confidence is lacking at the moment. You know, he's trying to be maybe too precise as a striker. He's trying to get his first touch right all the time. But again, let's not to be too hard on Nicholas Bendtner, because I think long term he can be a big player for us. You know, and you know, some players out there, you know, all they need is confidence, and you know, get a run under the belt, get a couple of games under the belt, score a couple of goals, and they're buzzing, and you'll see him go on a long run and score loads of goals for us. Nicholas Bendtner, don't get me wrong, he's only been a bit part player for us. He's played a couple of games, and Adebayor's come back in, then he's come back into the team. I think he needs a good run of maybe 5 to 10 games in the team to see what he can really do. And he's been playing out on the left wing as well, so I mean, he's a big sort of target man playing out on the left wing. We're not going to see the best of him. Anyway, comes to our final subject of the day now. Now, last week, it was the early part of this week, former Arsenal captain Frank McLintock, a man who I've got a lot of respect for, came out and he basically criticised Arsene Wenger. He was interviewed on TalkSport. I was listening to the radio, and Frank said basically that he was questioning whether or not Arsene Wenger had the hunger for the Arsenal job anymore, and whether or not he's actually lost the plot. He actually said those words. He said, "I think Arsene Wenger is losing the plot because he hasn't gone out there in his strength with the team in key positions." Frank McLintock said, and I think justifiably right as well, that everyone can see at Arsenal that the centre midfield pairing of Denilson and Song is not good enough. You know, we've had great defensive midfield players in the past: Vieira, Petit, Flamini, Gilberto. We don't seem to have that player anymore. And the majority of the fans can see this, but yet Wenger hasn't gone out to strengthen in that position. Why? No one knows. Money obviously is there because he spent 16.9 million on Arshavin. So why didn't he go out and replace Flamini, Diarra and Gilberto and some of this? It's been a big key area for us. And obviously McLintock's seen it as a weakness and he's pulled it up and he's questioned it. Fair play to Frank McLintock for having his opinion. The man's a legend. I mean, he's always gone out there and defended Arsenal. You know, he works for Sky Sports News. You know, he's interviewed constantly. He's an Arsenal man, and he's an Arsenal legend. Now, for people to then post comments on the blog about Frank McLintock being, I won't even repeat what they said about Frank McLintock because it's just totally disrespectful. The man has done so much for Arsenal, and some of you guys need to learn your history for what this guy's done. Okay, he's entitled to his opinion. And what makes me sick about Arsenal fans at the moment is that if you dare question the manager or you dare question the board or for not spending, you're told to get arsed or fuck off or you're not Arsenal. Who are you people to slag off the likes of Frank McLintock or to slag off Arsenal fans because they don't have your view? You know, this is what's really making me sick. Fair enough, we're all frustrated at the moment, but you've got to respect other people's views. So, again, come on lads, let's all pull together. Let's not sort of start switching on each other. Frank McLintock, you know, he's entitled to his views. You might not agree with it, but don't go posting stuff about him saying he's a cunt and things like that because that's just wrong. Okay? So, that's it. I hope you've enjoyed the first edition of the podcast, and I look forward to doing my next one. And please sign up to the forum at www.arsenalaction.com. It's a new forum. We're looking for members to brighten the place up, and look forward to speaking to you all again soon. Take care of yourself. All the best.